YouTube, listen up. Right now, a long-awaited waiver in the building. Yeah, the Zoom ain't doing it no justice. But right now, what you about to get?
I think maybe a 2 with the high taper.
2 with a high taper?
Yep, or should I do a fade? Which one do you think?
Yeah, 2 with a high taper. We're gonna get a 2 with a high taper, okay? He said a fade, I had to decline that. All right, 2 with a high taper. Waves is spinning. About to change his life. The quarantine got us all messed up.
Man.
All of us messed up. Let's go. Intro now available on iTunes and Google Play. Alright, so before you actually jump in and start cutting, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna comb everything out. My client has been woofing for a long time. He's been growing his hair out basically to better his connection. Plus he's been going through quarantine, so there was no way for him to get a cut. So we're about to comb his hair out, that way the hair can easily go through the guard. So my client wanted a 2 with the lever open, basically a 2.5. So I went ahead and grabbed my 2 guard with the lever open using my Andis cordless masters, and I'm just going slowly with the grain of the pattern. A little tip, if you guys are ever stuck on how to go with the grain of your client's pattern, just have your client brush. That way, the way he brush, you could basically move that clipper into that same direction as your client's brush strokes. So my client wanted a high taper, so basically I'm gonna start off with my bald line. I always like to start off with my bald line because that sets the foundation for how neat the rest of the cut is. So I'm gonna set in my bald line using my Babulous Red FX, and I'm just gonna set it straight. I'm not gonna put any curve to it because I wanna keep this high taper as low as possible. So with the second step, I'm gonna grab my 1 guard open and I'm gonna scoop out. The reason why I'm using the 1 guard instead of the lever open is because I wanna keep this guideline as low as possible. So if I start off with a higher guard, it makes it easier to blend underneath the guideline. Now using the 2 guard open, I'm going up, basically debulking, making sure that I scoop out, brushing down as I go. So going back with the 1 guard, in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that area between the 1 and the 2. Alright, so now that I have the top the way I want it to be, it's time to set in my lever open, and I'm setting it up just very lightly. I'm not really going up a ½ inch at all. I'm probably going up a half of that ½ inch, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to make sure I keep this this taper low enough so he can have his waves as close to the hairline as possible. Now with the 0 guard closed in a flick out motion, I'm flicking out that middle line, and I'm doing it very fast, very, I'm not going too far up. I'm staying right below that line. Now with the lever closed in a flick out motion, same thing you did with the zero guard closed, start below the line and flick to the line. So next step is detailing your work. I always like to take a look away from the blend, or you can look at the mirror and whatever you see in the mirror does not lie. All right, I'm gonna be using different guards. I'm gonna be using my corners throughout this process and just try to get in those areas where I see bulk. Now, as far as the back goes, I use the same exact steps, so just follow the same steps that I used on the side in the back. So when it comes to a waiver's front line, what I like to do is I like to bring the front down a guard size lower. All right, I'm gonna run that one on the front line, just the tips, and I'm gonna do it behind my client's ear as well, because that's all a part of the lineup as well. It's nothing like seeing that back lineup crispy also. Alright, before I start the lineup, I like to peel the hair back just to see how much room I got to work with so I don't push my client back, because when it comes to waivers, there's always a lot of overhang, so you want to make sure that you're not pushing your client back. last thing you want to do with finishing off a waver's haircut is you want to make sure you get the frizzy hairs off top. That is doing a freehand trim with the lever closed and just gliding the blade across your client's waves.
Back to life. Yes, sir.
Listen, let me tell you why they call me 360. When they sit in my chair, I spin them in the full 360 and they come out looking like bam. YouTube, this is the cut. And if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, HustleDreamProduction, that's my brother. He does all my beats. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below. Also, if you want to know where you can find any tools that you've seen in this video, links will be in the description below. Otherwise, you guys can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat. My Snapchat is Jeezy360 and my Instagram is 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy, and I'm out of here. Cheers.